My case study is a case study about teaching eye contact to children with autism. As we know, as we learned in our class, many children with autism struggle with and have very poor eye contact. Both parents and professionals often wonder if we should focus on teaching eye contact, and if so, how do we teach this important nonverbal skill? Eye contact, as well as pointing and gesturing, are considered nonverbal language skills that develop naturally and typically develop in kids. But for 2-year-olds who can't speak at all, or even 6 or 16-year-olds who are not conversational, teaching eye contact should be the least of our worries. But unlike pointing or other hand gestures that you can model and prompt, eye contact can't be prompted. Even if you take a child's chin and you move it, which, by the way, I would never recommend, but I've seen people do that, the child's eyes just do not follow with the chin. So there's no way to physically prompt the eye contact. The case study that I chose and was given is about a little boy at Carbone Clinic in Stony Point, New York. His name is Jake, and he is 3 years old, and he has a primary diagnosis of autism. He has a history of emitting problem behaviors in the form of bolting and flopping, kicking, crying, basically acting out all the time. He has lots of occurrences of problem behavior. His major problem behavior, they were socially mediated, and they were occurring at a rate of 5 episodes per a 3-hour session where he was being recorded. So Jake was enrolled in a private clinic that provided one-on-one educational services that was to reduce his behavior, but his problem behavior was only reduced to an average rate of 1 episode per that 3-hour session at the beginning of the study. He attended the clinic 3 times a week for 3 hours. They consisted of like one-on-one intensive teaching in the form of natural environment teaching. So nothing was really forced when he was there. Eye contact response was defined as movement by the way Jake's head and eyes made direct contact with the eyes of the person from whom he was, manding immediately prior to his simultaneous with vocal responses. So therefore, they were talking to him, calling out his name, making noises to see if he really would look in that way. The occurrence of an eye contact response was recorded by circling yes on the data sheet when the vocal prompt also then had an eye contact movement for him. What I had learned was, even if the eye contact was happening, there was no way to really tell that Jake was actually learning what was happening and actually saw what was going on and comprehending what was going on. But what we do know is that with eye contact, a lot of people struggle with that, and there are even times that you think you should be teaching eye contact to these children, and sometimes they're not autistic. Sometimes they have an issue with their vision. I know that when I was a child and I was having twitching and they thought I had a tic disorder, they took me to a children's hospital and thought I was blind because I wasn't looking when I was called. And they never really figured it out. I wasn't blind, I wasn't autistic, I didn't have any tic disorders or anything like that. I just was not making eye contact.